All right, it's day 2 of 31 days straight of video content from yours truly. If you guys don't know me, it's Annie Graft, and we're talking all things living an iconic life and helping you tap into a version of yourself that you're so fucking proud of, that you're so confident in, and that is truly iconic. So, if you didn't watch the last video I posted, go watch it. I talked about how to find excited energy and how that helps you get to where you want to get to down the road. Achieve your goals, show up for success, take action to do the do to get to wherever you get down the road. And in talking on this topic, it just got me excited. Obviously, I was in that excited energy, but it got me excited about sharing another thing with you guys. And that is priming your mind for the greatness throughout the day. And I want to talk on this for a second because I actually shared something, honestly, almost a year ago on Instagram, and it was received so well, and it helps break down why getting into that like energetic state and kind of getting those thoughts into your head of success, of where you want to be, of like the joy, the happiness, the gratitude, why that's so important. Because I know that if it's not something you like routinely practice, it can feel like, why would I fake that? Like, why if I'm not feeling excited, Annie, why would I try to get myself to be excited? It just feels fake. So I want to give you guys, share a story with you. And then obviously it relates to that whole mindset, right? So this happened like a year ago. I was in the gym training a client, and I saw another guy working out, and I went up to him and complimented him on his shorts. It was a really like cool color that I don't typically see. And I literally told him that. And so I walk up to him and I was like, I love your shorts. I love that you're rocking that color. And he was like, oh, periwinkle? And I was like, oh, is that periwinkle? Like, cool. Like, I love it. I don't see people really in it much at all. So anyway, went about my day, continued training my client, whatever. Didn't really think much of it. Later that day, I went for my own workout, walked into the gym, and I'm hitting legs. And literally throughout the course of like, I don't know, I was there for an hour. And over that time, I saw at least 5 people wearing periwinkle. And I actually took photos of them because I was like, oh my God, like, what the heck? Everyone's wearing this color. And they were like all separate throughout the gym, separate from like different times. So like they were never standing next to each other. It's not like it was just like Periwinkle Club over on that side of the gym. It was just random. Anyway, so I took these photos because I was going to make an Instagram story about it, which I did later. And I go to those photos after I finish my workout to be like, oh my God, this is so crazy. Like, they're all wearing periwinkle. Like, what the heck? Is there like a national periwinkle day that I missed out on? And I go to look at the photos, and it was funny because in comparing all of the photos to each other, it was very clear that they were all different shades of periwinkle, okay? Like no 2 of them looked the same out of like the 5 or 6 guys, women, the people that I saw wearing periwinkle, which at the time, in that moment, I was like, periwinkle, like that is periwinkle. That was what that guy was wearing this morning, and I never see it. Now all of a sudden I see like 6 people at the gym wearing periwinkle. And it was so like, just like light bulb moment to me, because in comparing them and realizing like they were all slightly different shades. Yeah, sure, you could probably consider them all periwinkle individually, but then together you're like, okay, obviously like some are, some aren't. Anyway, the whole point of me sharing this story with you guys is because earlier that day, my mind was primed on the color periwinkle. Like, I went out of my way to compliment that guy, had that conversation. So whether or not I was not actively thinking about the color periwinkle the whole day, but it was in my brain. Like, I had that conversation. I had that moment where I, consciously was like, I like that color. I never see that color. And then had a conversation about that color. And then later in my day, it keeps popping up, and I noticed it. So what I realized, and the point of this is that even though I didn't set out on the rest of that day to be like, I'm gonna find everyone wearing periwinkle, my brain was there. Like, it was all of a sudden, I noticed the color periwinkle. Now, do you guys think that before that day, nobody had ever worn periwinkle in front of me? No, not at all. I'm sure that every single day, there were people wearing a color that I could have considered periwinkle before that day. But I just wasn't thinking about it. I just wasn't even considering it. Wasn't a thing that I focused on until that day where then I was focused on it. So the connection here, guys, is when you prime your mind to start the day with gratitude, with happiness, with abundance, with journaling positivity, with creating excited energy, your brain is already primed to then go out throughout the rest of your day and find moments that correlate with those things. You know, and so many people get this wrong, I think, in my experience, because we start our day, typically, if you're not in this mindset of like, no, I'm gonna purposefully put positive things in my head because I know my brain later will then be more attracted to seeing those things instead of the opposite, right? The negative things. Here's why. I mean, think about it. When you wake up, if your first thought is, oh, that alarm, oh, I have that meeting with my boss, oh, I have to do all that stuff, I have that bill to pay, oh my God, okay, my kid's crying, like, oh gosh, I said I would work out today, I don't feel like it, oh my God, okay, my husband's nagging me, or okay, all these negative things. If those are the first thing on your mind when you wake up, throughout the day, your brain is more likely to pick up on similar things. And if that's just a habit that you have in terms of the way you think about your life, that's gonna be a common thing that you see. Now, on the opposite hand, if you wake up and you purposefully, even if at first it feels forced, think, okay, I get to do this day. I get to get out of bed. Look at me moving these legs. Not everybody gets to do this. Like, wow, oh my gosh, the birds are chirping and it is beautiful. And you go outside and you're like, like, here I am, oh my gosh. And, you know, even just things like journaling positive prompts, you know, something that I actively do is when I start journaling, especially if like nothing's right coming out of my head, I will journal on things that made me smile or laugh or like, you know, mentally happy within the last 24 hours. So I think back and I'm like, when did I smile? And I start writing them down. And I just, again, tap into that energy, similar to kind of that excited energy that I was talking about in that last video. I tap into those emotions where I'm like watching my dog jump into the pool after a tennis ball, get all wet, get out, shake off, like that made me happy, that made me smile. Oh, that conversation I had with that friend where they told me that made me happy. Oh, that one random thing that happened in the gym that had us cracking up, oh my God, that was hilarious, you know? So tapping into that energy first thing in your day will allow then throughout your day, your brain to be primed to find more of those things. And it's a habit, like anything else. Yeah, it can feel forced at first, and you might not feel like being positive or finding the positives in your day if you're so accustomed to waking up and dreading the day and being negative about it and, oh gosh, like, why is this my life, you know? If that's the case, then you go through your day and you're stuck in traffic, and at the same time as you're telling yourself a frustrated narrative about, oh my God, now I'm gonna be late. Oh my God, my boss is gonna get pissed at me. Oh my God, why is everyone drive like 95-year-olds? Like, come on, people. That might be what's going on right here. In the same moment, your favorite song might be on the radio. In the same moment, you might look over and see someone talking in their car, like smiling and laughing. And the same moment, you might see, you know, the blue skies and a bird fly across. Like, these are really small moments that can be completely ignored if your brain is primed to find the negative. Now, if you woke up and, like I said, almost forced yourself to be like in those joyful, positive moments, that happy energy, you could be sitting there in traffic, and instead of that negative train of thought, what you will be feeling is the excitement about, oh my God, my favorite song just hopped on the radio, like, hell yeah, jamming. And then you look out and, you see people walking on the street and they're laughing and smiling, and you're just like, oh, that's nice. Like, oh my God, it makes me happy to see other people happy. And, then you look up and the sky is blue and you're like, gosh, it's so beautiful. Like, see how different those two moments can be depending on where your headspace is at. And this is why it's so important to know the power of your own mind. And if you're not aware of it, hopefully this video makes you aware of it, or makes you aware that it's something you can better control. Does this mean that negative things aren't going to happen in your life? No. But it means that you can literally change what you recognize and what you notice. Just like the periwinkle story, the same people are probably, the same color is probably out there throughout my day, but I hadn't been previously focused on it. So it's just not even anything I notice. Like, it's just person in periwinkle will pass me by and I won't think twice of it. But my brain that day was primed to be like, oh my God, wait, people do wear this color. Like, that guy, like, oh my God, another person. Oh my God, another person. And the thing I was saying where, like, I compared all the photos later and none of them were the same shade, but my brain made the association of periwinkle because that was on my mind. So if you guys want to test this out, I dare you to. If you're like, no way. Here's a little challenge I have for you, okay? Think of something completely random, something you don't see every day, something that, you don't think of every day. For me, when I was testing this out, I did like a little experiment on this. I thought of an elephant, and I was like, an elephant, like, I don't work in a zoo. When am I gonna see an elephant? Never. So I told myself at the start of the day, I was like, okay, elephant, 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 elephant. I thought of an elephant, looked at pictures of elephants. I'm like, okay, elephant's on my brain. And then I kind of was like, all right, let me start my day. I went throughout my day per usual. And that day I saw a bumper sticker of an elephant. I saw a insurance billboard with an elephant on it. One of my friends sent me a reel or like a meme or whatever with an elephant in it. It was like boom, 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 elephant. And if I hadn't primed my mind to even recognize elephant, I wouldn't have noticed oh my God, I've seen 3-4 elephants today. It was because subconsciously that is what I primed my brain to latch on to. So all of this to say, you have power in what you prime your mind to latch onto. Are you gonna prime it to latch onto the negative? Or are you gonna prime it to latch onto the positive? Because the reality is, guys, is maybe your life doesn't suck. And I'm not saying that's where you're at right now, but maybe the things you're focused on right now that are negative, yeah, they're negative, but maybe you have just as many or more positives about your circumstances, your environment, the people in your life, your relationships, your health, your wellness, your life in general, but you're just not noticing them. And the more you focus on the positive rather than those negative things, the more you're gonna notice more positive external to that as well. And then all of a sudden, your positive vibe is gonna be attracting more positive. You're gonna be living into more positive, feeling more positive, showing up more positive, and it's just this ripple effect. It can also take place on the other side of things in a negative ripple effect. And I just want you guys to be aware of how game-changing this is. So if you got to the end of the video, pick something random. Pick something random right now and decide, okay, think of it, draw a picture of it, look it up on Google, okay, and then go about your day. And I bet you within 48 hours, you're gonna see so many signs of that thing popping up. It just goes to show your brain has power. And what you choose, even subconsciously, to attach to, you're gonna see external to you. If you guys liked this topic, drop a comment below. Also in the description, I have access to my exclusive community that I'm gonna be building here, not here on YouTube, but through these YouTube videos. This type of content is what we're gonna be continuing to focus on in this group called Let's Get Iconic. So if you're vibing with it, see the link below. For the month of May, you can join for free for a lifetime and get access to all of the value, the goodies, the community that is going to be building there in that platform. So go ahead, see that link, drop a comment below. If you're not, subscribe. You guys, we have 29 more videos coming your way for the month of May, and I am freaking stoked to see what's gonna come because I have no plan in it. I have no content plan. Really, it's just gonna be doing a video every day. So if you guys have ideas or things you wanna hear my perspective on or my experience on or just questions or good topics you have, drop those in the comments below too. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Go see the positive. Choose to see the positive today.